Hi, I'm Heather.
And I'm Eche.
Before we get started on today's episode, we'd just like to say, welcome to Season 3 of the podcast.
I'm so excited to start a whole new season of English as a singing language.
Me too. The time has passed so quickly.
I know. It's hard to believe that we've already created 2 seasons of the podcast.
So, what is the focus of this episode, Eche?
We're going to, or gonna, talk about reductions in casual speech.
Ooh, that sounds interesting. I want to, or wanna, learn more about that.
Me too. I can't wait.
Me neither. Let's get started. Oh, hi, Eche. How's it going?
Okay, I guess. I've spent all morning looking at job advertisements and working on my resume.
I've spent a lot of time recently applying for jobs and having job interviews too.
It's really stressful. And during a job interview, I feel like I have to be so formal. It feels like I am trying to be someone I am not. And then I am being compared to all the other people who applied for the job.
I think you should listen to the song I was just listening to. It's called Be Myself.
The 2021 hit song by Montana Tucker featuring Todrick Hall.
Yes, the whole song is about how you should be yourself.
That sounds great. We should all be ourselves and not try to change anything for someone or something else.
I agree. In fact, when Montana Tucker was asked about her inspiration for the song, she said, quote, I actually wrote Be Myself with my friend Justin Gesso during the pandemic. I have always wanted to write a song about staying true to who you are and being proud of who you are. Nowadays, it's hard not to compare yourself to others, so I think a song/message like this is really important.
That is a really important message. We all need to be proud of who we are.
And there's also a useful language feature in this song. There are many examples of reduced pronunciation in this song.
You mean when we don't pronounce each sound of each word carefully?
Right. When we speak in a casual, everyday conversation, we often combine words and some sounds get lost.
For example, let's start with the refrain of the song. I'm gonna be myself. I don't want to be nobody else.
Yes. There are 2 great examples in those lines. The first one, I'm gonna be myself. I don't want to be nobody else.
First, she uses gonna instead of am going to.
In conversation, you will rarely hear a person say, I am going to be myself.
They would say, I'm gonna be myself.
And the other common reduction in that line is, I don't want to be, instead of, I do not want to be.
And it's interesting that she also uses nobody instead of anybody.
What we would teach in grammar class is that because you have a negative in don't, you can't use a negative nobody.
But actually, you hear people say things like, I don't know nobody, instead of I don't know anybody all the time.
It's just not what we would use in grammar class.
Nope, but it works in this song.
There are other examples of gonna instead of going to in the refrain, like, I'm gonna show you confidence.
That's a good line. It's important to try to show your confidence, even if you don't feel very confident. Like in a job interview.
I agree. And the next line, I'm gonna let my hair down when I do my dance, is fun because it contains an idiom, to let your hair down.
If you let your hair down, it means that you are acting in a relaxed and comfortable way.
You could say, after working all week, I can finally let my hair down with my friends on the weekend.
And it means you're just going to relax and have a good time.
After all the stress of applying for jobs, we should let our hair down this weekend.
Sounds good. And the last reduction in the refrain is the question, What you gonna do?
Wait, what you gonna do? What does that mean?
It's a reduction of what are you going to do?
Oh, okay. We use that all the time. What you gonna do this weekend, Eche?
We're gonna let our hair down and do something fun, right?
I hope so.
So, going back to the first verse, it starts, don't know which road to take.
That's how we've been feeling lately, right?
Yes, there are 2 or more choices we can make, or roads to take, and we don't know which one is best.
That's definitely how I've been feeling. We could use the next line too. It's been one of those days.
If you've had a long and difficult day, you can say, it's been one of those days.
Like after a day of searching for jobs and sending out applications?
Exactly. And when she says, I get in my own way, I'm my worst enemy.
I think everybody does that sometimes, meaning it's not somebody or something else that's stopping me. I'm the one who's stopping myself, getting in my own way, being an enemy to myself.
Right. There's an interesting description in the next verse. So when you're lost in the dark and you forget who you are.
Baby, you'll find your spark shining among the stars. Wow, that's how I've been feeling lately, like I'm lost in the dark.
Me too. But I like the idea of finding a spark, a tiny fire, and being able to be myself again.
That's what we all need sometimes, a small spark of inspiration.
Maybe my favorite part of the song is Todrick's part. You'll notice in his part he uses I'ma instead of I'm going to.
So this is even more reduced than I'm gonna.
Exactly. He sings, I'ma be fabulous, I'ma be glamorous.
So you might hear I am going to be fabulous, or I'm gonna be fabulous, or I'ma be fabulous.
Yes, he also sings, I'ma be posing when they show me where the camera is.
When you pose, you stand and smile in a special way for a photo, like when you say,
Cheese! Right. And the next lines are, I'ma keep strutting my stuff. If I'm being myself, that's more than enough.
If you strut your stuff, it means you're walking with a lot of confidence.
And we should all remember that being ourselves is more than enough.
There's another interesting line in that part. Todrick sings, "We eat sticks and stones for breakfast." What is he talking about there?
There's a popular saying for children, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. It means that you shouldn't pay attention to what other people say about you.
So he and Montana Tucker are really doing whatever they want and not paying attention to what other people do or say.
Exactly. And the last part of Todrick's lines are, don't let hate affect us. Love your scars, and freckles, love your body.
Freckles are little brown spots that you might get from the sun, and scars are marks left from a cut or injury. I've got plenty of those.
We should just love our bodies and love ourselves the way we are.
Agree.
There's one last part of the song we haven't talked about yet.
Right. You go left and you go down.
You stay in and you go out.
You don't care who's watching now.
Stand proud.
Stand proud.
Stand proud. It sounds like it's time to sing.
I think so. There's a link to Montana Tucker's 2021 hit song, Be Myself, in the episode notes.
Be sure to sing out loud as you listen.
And pay attention to the reduced pronunciation while you sing.
If you practice while you're singing, then you'll be able to try it out when you're speaking.
And that's our goal, to use songs to improve our English.
To sing and to have fun.
I'm gonna be myself. We don't wanna be nobody else.
What a great song to start off season 3 of the podcast.
I agree. I've been feeling frustrated and anxious spending all this time on job applications and interviews.
Me too. It's very stressful.
This song has made me feel a lot more confident.
We can just be ourselves. It will all work out.
That's a good attitude. And we have a whole season of the podcast to look forward to.
Yes. So, listeners, be sure to like and subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen.
And check out our website for useful resources like episode transcripts.
You should also follow us on Instagram at Singing Languages.
You can send us comments, questions, or suggestions at singinglanguages@gmail.com.
Most of all, have fun and
Just keep singing.